You give me a direction, I'll do the rest.
Kostas.
We start? Okay, my name is Kostas. I'm Greek, obviously, super Greek name, Kostas. And I'm a linguist. That's a very important, I want to say I'm a linguist actually. Not completely there yet. I've done a master's. I want to be a linguist. I want to say that I am a linguist. And I love literature. I love my people here. That's my life pretty much in a nutshell here. Yeah.
You said you want to be you're a linguist. How do you say?
Linguist.
Linguist. Yeah. What do you need more? What's
I think a PhD is missing.
PhD.
To completely be there, to start having like publications, stuff like that, to start really making a name of myself as a linguist. But for now, we're not there yet. Yeah.
Why are you not there?
It's a very difficult, no, it's a big thing. It's kind of difficult here in the Netherlands. I think I also handled it a little not great when I needed to have handled it better. But okay. But it's also it's like a very narrow field with a lot of like applicants, and it's difficult, especially here in the Netherlands. And on the other hand, I just want to stay here because I have like my girlfriend, I have my brother, so we have like a small family here that I'm really, let's say, it gives me great like comfort. So if I was alone, I could just look for a PhD somewhere else, I mean in Europe or wherever. But I think it's so difficult to leave the family I have created here and just pursue a PhD out of nowhere. That's it. So it's either here, very limited, or not at all. So we're waiting for the very limited option, you know?
You talk a lot about difficulties. What is difficult?
Well, difficult.
Now, let me get you some water.
Yeah, give. Well,
let me get you some water.
I also have the bottle there.
This
yeah.
one. I was gonna give you enough. Just drink some water, please. I don't want you to be dehydrated.
What is difficult? I don't know, man. Well, difficult is can be everything and nothing at the same time. It's like how you define it.
How do you define it? Yeah.
In my case, difficult is something that is almost impossible to do, you know? That you have no control over. That's difficult. That's why I refer to finding a PhD position here as difficult, because these are my qualifications, I apply, I have no more control over it, you know? Other than that, yeah, I prefer to stay there. That when you don't have too much control over it, it starts to become difficult and you have no say on how it develops, you know?
Don't you think like difficulty also involves the effort we put in? Because sometimes for me, I think everything that was made, everything was created, was to make our lives easier.
Yeah.
So my definition of difficult is things that I don't want to put effort into because I don't feel like, I think it's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
But in your case, you said it's something that you don't have no control over.
Exactly,
but
exactly.
Maybe if you, this is a question.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it. Don't you think like if you do the best you can and you are actually sure that that's a good product, then it's not going to be difficult? Like you're going to be like light in your head and think, okay, this is a very good product. This is a very good result of what I'm doing. So it's in their hands, but it was in my hands first.
Yeah, yeah, but it depends on the product is good. Kostas, I also feel like Kostas as a product, I'm selling myself, let's say, right? Is a good product, I'm putting effort. That, for me, was not a difficult process because I liked what I was doing. I put the effort I wanted to. Now, when it's on other people's hands, this is when it starts to get difficult, in my mind, you know? Yeah, pretty much whatever needs my effort and I can make it is not that difficult in my mind. That's my view of it, at least.
What do you think is the biggest fear you have that is holding you back from accomplishing like your goals?
I guess failing. I guess failing, like completely blowing it. Like, I think that's my biggest fear. I have caught myself like holding back so many times on so many things because of not knowing what comes next. If I do this, what if I fail? What if I blow the chance? I think it's very reassuring to just not do it and have the thought of, okay, maybe I could have done it, but oh well, I didn't fail either. So I think, yeah, biggest fear that's obviously holding me back and has done in the past many, many times is the fear of failure.
Do you think this way of thinking is gonna change like anytime soon, or do you want it to change?
Of course I want it, and it's slowly changing. I'm taking way more chances at myself. I'm also trying a lot harder on whatever I do. I put a very honest effort. Whereas in the past, I wouldn't. I was just like, if it needed little effort, I would do it. If it needed more effort, I would be like, yeah, not for me. Because I was scared that I'm gonna put too much effort and then I'm gonna fail. But now I'm just doing an honest like job on everything. I'm put a big amount of effort in whatever I do. And I think it slowly starts like changing to the better, of course, yeah.
Right now, in this moment, what's the feeling that this gives you?
This thing, you mean, right now? No, I'm very proud of myself. Really, but nothing but pride. I'm actively like fighting against something, against a bad habit of mine. And I'm feeling I'm doing it, and I'm feeling very proud.
What's the one thing that you say that fulfills you and makes you feel like happy? Because you just said, okay, you're very proud of this and the way you're fighting against this.
Yeah. These like liabilities of mine, let's say. Totally other things I feel like fulfill me and make me happy. It's not about making me proud anymore. I feel like it starts like this feeling comes to me of like, let me put it another way. Yeah. Right now, not myself cannot make me that happy, being proud of something. It's more of like living nice moments with my family, with my loved ones. This stuff I feel like give me way more happiness than my own accomplishments would ever give me. And I think it just comes with me growing older. I think it's like a natural, like, evolution of myself. I don't know. But yeah, it comes very natural to me. I really like spending time with my girlfriend, with my brother, my only family blood relative here, and my friends. That's what truly makes me happy. I also get great satisfaction from improving myself and studying a lot. I'm now studying. I'm learning Dutch, I'm learning Latin, I'm learning ancient Greek. I get great satisfaction from this stuff, but it's not like an ultimate level of happiness. Happiness, I would say, is more of my people and spending time with them, you know?
Mm-hmm. Maybe I should have asked you this before. because you're talking about linguistics, but now you spoke again about the languages you're learning.
Yeah.
What makes you so curious, or what makes you want to learn more languages? What makes you want to be a linguist?
I just a great love for the topic, nothing else, for real. I cannot pinpoint it, and I cannot tell you that it happened like when I was 20, 21 or something. Back in my bachelor studies, I discovered about linguistics as a field, and I just thought it was super interesting. And then the more I got to know it, and the more I don't know, it's the more I got to see it like unravel in front of my eyes. I just loved it more and more. And then in the end, I just did a master in like linguistics. And the beauty of it is I feel like recognizing patterns, like seeing patterns in different languages that match with another language, seeing patterns within language families, like the Romance, for example, or the Germanic, and there's a pattern that Italian and Spanish share, but they are within this language family. But this is a pattern that English and Italian share, but it's across two different language families. This is, I don't know, this is how my brain works, and I just love making those patterns, seeing those like similarities or differences. Yeah, I guess no.
What would be having a successful career in this field for you?
I guess doing a PhD and then at some point, of course, publish a lot of papers. That's what like researchers do. Mm-hmm. And at some point, I would love to like be part of a university as well, teach, which I would never. I don't really like teaching, but if it was for linguistics and for like spreading this knowledge, which I'm very passionate about, I would love to do that as well. That would be a successful career, at least in my mind. I don't know. I'm not like extremely ambitious in the sense that I want to like make a world-breaking discovery. No, I just want to make my publications about the topics I like, because it's also a wide field. Some of the topics I like are not too relevant about like human evolution, let's say. You're not gonna use them to discover something. I don't know how our brain functions, but at least I like them. I wanna like dive deep into them, make my publications, and then in the future, yeah, maybe join a university, be a teacher, a professor, yeah.
How do you define success? Because the things you just mentioned, you can just do them now. You can publish things, even though you're not certified as a PhD.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but you can publish anything you want now. But if you associate that with a PhD, then how do you define success itself?
Getting paid by what I like. The PhD will pay me, and then the following career will pay me. You know, PhD here in the Netherlands pays you, and then you do a postdoc, most probably also pays you, and then you somehow land in the university. That's why I want to land in the university as well. Let's be real. I just wanna get paid by what I love, and basically this is it. Like get into academia and get paid for doing research.
Okay, so success for you is being paid to do what you like.
Exactly. No, that's pretty fair. Yeah.
What is one expectation?
Okay.
Because success also means expectation.
Yeah, of course.
So what is one expectation that you had
And didn't happen
that
by now.
didn't happen?
I always thought I would be completely like, would follow a completely different field. My father is a physicist. I was always more into maybe subconsciously I wasn't, but I was always more into the positive like studies, the mathematics, physics, blah, blah, blah. I would, if you ask me like when I was 10, 15 even, 16 even, before university, what do you want to be when you grow up? I will tell you I want to be a physicist. And 16 years is like almost half of my life. So for half of my life, I thought I would do that, which is a big part of my life. And then out of the sudden, I didn't at all. I just followed a completely different track. And here I am talking about languages instead of planets or whatever, or I don't know, movement or force. Yeah. So that's a thing that never happened in my life and never will, to be fair. That's a train long gone.
And how does that affect you today?
Not at all. I don't agree. I really found like something. I think it was only meant to be. I found something that out of pure coincidence and luck, I found something that I really love, and I think I love it more than I would have loved physics ever in my life. That's how I feel. So, or it affects me, but in a greater way, you know? Maybe I avoided a bad decision. Because I don't know how I had it in my mind. I want to be a physicist. I think I was just following a route that my father and my brother, who was always very, very good in like positive sciences, they had already like made this route, and I was just like following it in a way. Mm-hmm. But then again, something happened. I dropped everything. I went and studied Italian language and literature, and that changed everything, completely everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm very happy with the choice, to be fair. Yeah, extremely happy.
Tell me about the moment where you felt like your things happened exactly the way they had to happen, and how did that make you feel at that moment?
Oh, I'm not sure if they do anymore, but the moment they came to the Netherlands was like a very good pick. Or actually the moment I found a home, because it was also difficult to find a house when I came. So I had to spend a month in a hotel. Somewhere in the middle I had already found a house, but I had to also wait for another 15 days to go back to the house. As soon as I went inside the house and I know that now I got my place to stay, this is all mine, blah, blah, blah. Everything started like the puzzle started like clicking together, everything, the pieces started connecting. And I felt like, yeah, I may have like changed my trajectory in the beginning through my bachelor's, but now I'm doing a master's here in the Netherlands in one of the very good universities. Came to find my brother who's also doing the same thing. And everything's clicking so nicely together. And I'm doing a completely different thing again. But whatever, yeah, that was like a very peak of like, it's always happening, something's happening. But then it didn't. But I'm not sad about it. I'm very, very appreciative of what I did and what happened. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
You seem very at peace with everything and how things went in your life. What do you think shaped you to have this personality, have this way of taking things so lightly, so like, yeah, let it go.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know. I could say my mother, out of my two parents, my mother is a little more chill and at peace most of the times. Sometimes she's going a little, she's intense, but most of the time she's like me. But I think reading and studying a lot, for real. I can't recommend it like more to anyone. If you read like very like thoughtful and philosophical novels and great works of fiction, I think you get so many perspectives of living life, of living examples, even though it's fiction, obviously, that's how I work. I've read so much in my life that I adopt something out of this character, or I'm trying to think about something that this character said and how it can fit in my life, if it fits at all. So that's how I think I've had to way too much to read and study, and this brings me at peace. in the end. That's how I feel at least. Yeah.
So basically, like other people's experience and perspectives on things,
Yeah.
helped you get into this state of mind before
Yeah, yeah.
even, because maybe sometimes you recognize some situations and say, oh, this happened in
Yeah.
this book like this,
Yeah.
like this, and this guy was going through this at this moment, and this is how he acts.
No, yeah, exactly. So this and the fact that I've I've s- I've read for I've seen so many live like stances through characters. Let's call it that, like how protagonists and even like random characters like their stance against life that I just developed it, internalized it somehow, things that I liked or things that I didn't like, I just completely rejected them into myself. And then I think, I don't know, reading brings me an inner peace anyways, so I think everything like comes together at some point and it makes Kostakis.
Of these experiences, of these readings, these books, stories, whatever, what was like the most impactful message that is still sticking in your head that you can, do you think like most of the times it helps you most of the times?
I think novels that have very impactful messages, the messages are rather like things to avoid, like novels where you see like great poverty, great suffering, stuff like that. It brings you an appreciation of life because you are not in this position. What do I mean by that? I mean, for example, a novel that comes to my mind is The Grapes of Wrath, for example.
What?
The Grapes of Wrath.
Great. So
It's from John Steinbeck, an American author, and it talks about the great poverty after the Great Depression in the US. And people were really poor back then. Reading through all of this, like how people lived back then and how difficult it was for people to live, it makes you appreciate the life that you already got here. You know, I cannot ask for too much when I know how it was to live back in the day, through my reading, also through stories of my family, you know, because our grandparents almost got to witness the Second World War. And even if they didn't witness it, they lived through its mess afterwards. Everything was very, very, like, especially Greece was one of the poorest countries after World War II. So I just internalize stories, and for real, I feel grateful for not having to go through these things. I think about it again, and then I'm like, we're here, we're doing fine. I have the luxury of having a job, of having my loved ones, which is super important, and of having the luxury to read a book, to study something that you like, not having to work two jobs. That's blessings to me. And that's how, basically, these are moments that like shape me, let's say, in books. Moments to avoid, in that sense. Moments to be grateful that you are not there and you are being treated way better through life. Yeah.
besides reading, what is the other thing that makes you so happy that makes you lose track of time?
Ooh. Spending time with my loved ones, for real. Also, yeah, pretty much, I don't care what it is, as long as I spend time with my girlfriend, then I really don't keep track of time, especially when I travel. Spend time with my brother also, like, my brother is a huge part of me. We are twins, so we spend our entire lives together. This is also a moment like I'm having so much fun that I really don't care about time. But yeah, after reading and studying in general, because I also like studying different languages, checking out stuff like that, it's at the same level. I don't want to say after, because then my brother and my girlfriend will kill me, and my family, of course. At the same level is spending time with them, and no matter what we do, it's a fun way to pass time and to develop us as a person as well. They're also helping me a lot. They're my family. I take very seriously what they have to say about me and their advice about my life. Not that I always follow them, but I take it very seriously. I never take it light. And I think about it like 3 or 4 or 5 times before I just take the decision. Yeah.
You have a twin brother. For us that we don't have twin brothers, twin siblings.
I speak that at failing, yeah.
For us, it's sometimes we don't understand the dynamics because it's completely different. Of course, you're not like, how do you say?
We're not from the same egg, let's call it. We're from different eggs.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you're not, you don't look the same.
Exactly. We are not, in Greek we say μονοζυγωτικός, heterozygoticos. I don't know if you guys have something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is?
Something like this.
It's gemelos y...
Μεχίστος.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
So we are heterozygotiki from different eggs, meaning we are two different eggs, basically, two different cells from the mother. So, how is it, eh?
I don't even know how to ask or what to ask because so many things about,
Having a twin brother.
yeah.
But don't ask anything. I got you. It's something completely different. It's not like having a brother, because I've heard so many stories about siblings that are really close together, but we are even closer. It's like you spend your whole life together. It kind of feels like, okay, I'm exaggerating a bit, but kind of feels like you are half a person and your brother is the other half. And when you're together, you are a whole. And otherwise, you're just your own half person. I'm exaggerating, of course, but the bond is that strong. And it's so special, you know? And yeah, I mean, imagine living your entire life together. Even in your mama's belly, you're together. It's, I don't know, I think I'm hearing crazy stories about siblings fighting. Okay, when we were young, we were fighting about bullshit little things, but I could, like, bro, for nothing, I would never. And I don't think my brother would ever as well. I feel like in our entire lives, we were only once apart. For 1 year, he was here in Utrecht first, and then I came after 1 year. But we spoke every day through messages, through phone, through everything. And even now, we almost speak every day. I think in our entire life, we might have not spoken for about 20 to 30 days. In our entire life, that's how much we didn't speak. All the other days...
Not straight days.
Yeah.
Not 30 straight days.
Not straight. That's the whole occurrences. We speak literally every day about no matter what. It's the person I find it most easy not to get bored with. We will always have something to say. I don't know how. We almost have we like the same things. Almost all of it is the same. But even for things that he likes and I don't like, we will still find a way to speak about them and, I don't know, interact. I'm telling you, if I had to spend 15 times straight with my brother, I wouldn't get bored. I don't know how, I don't know why, but we always have something to talk about. Or yeah, it's fun.
Besides the goal that you have about being
A linguist.
yeah. Besides being a linguist, what's like another goal that you have for like the near future and that you are aiming to pursue, and what's holding you back?
Oh, I have a great goal that I'm aiming to pursue, and I myself am holding myself back, which is being an author. I think I've always wanted to be an author. I've always wanted to write fiction, of course, but I'm very afraid of doing it, guys. I'm very afraid. Or guy, I don't know how many are you behind the camera. No one knows. But yes, to be fair, I'm gonna do it. I'm sure I'm gonna do it. But it's always not the right time in my mind. And I think it's a thing I need to just get out of my mind and start doing it. Otherwise, I will never do it. Or I will never reach the level I want to reach. Because through practice, I believe through practice comes everything. And I really have to get my hands dirty and start making my own craft of writing and putting myself on paper to check how it is and then refine it further and then be the great author I have in my mind of myself. But if I don't do it, it will be another case of me chilling with the thought that, I could have done it if I tried. Which is fucked up, to be fair. I'm gonna do it.
Why don't you start like tomorrow, for example?
I've already started doing something, very little, but for now, especially I feel like I don't have time. I'm for sure gonna start in like 2-3 weeks when it's gonna be Christmas, and I'm gonna have a whole last week to think about what I'm doing. Set up. I started writing a short story that I believe is gonna be very good thematically and how I have it in my head. And I'm constantly having ideas. That's the thing. I'm having ideas, but I never get to write them down. So I'm gonna put all these ideas into like a schedule, a plan. Your previous guest, as your previous guest said, I'm a fan of the show. Put a plan for everything. Okay? So yes, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it. I promise to myself. It's been like 2 or 3 months that I did it. I promise myself. And usually I'm very honest with myself, especially the older I grow. And I'm gonna do it. If it blows, let it blow, guys. If it doesn't, we're into something. That's all.
Who defines what is good and what is bad?
In art, I guess the reception of the public, I guess. But then again, you can say that if it's something that intimate to me and if it's something that I put so much effort, why can I not define it as a good effort and just let it go? Let the others talk, you know?
Because also, what is good for me is not good for you.
Exactly.
And if 20 people say it's not good, but then one says it's good,
it can be better than the other way around, depending on the person, you know? I don't know. I still don't know what. It's a very difficult, topic to define in art. Always staying in art. Define what's good and what's not good. I think in the end is the reception, but then again, if I write something and a person that I think very high of thinks is great, and 20 that I don't think as high think is meh, I will be very, very happy for the one person. It's because of the art is so, at least to me, connected with feelings, that your feelings come into the definement of is it good or not in the end, you know?
what is still holding you back from just putting it out there, even though you know for sure that it's going to be good, maybe not as good as you expect, but you can learn from
Exactly. And
what you're doing.
I don't know. I guess myself. It's only myself and my view of doing something that's not what I expected in the beginning. That's it. I thought that, I always thought, and many people do it, I will be great. I will be, because I had it, it's a very dear thought of mine, to be the author that will be so good that I will even win the Nobel Prize of Literature, and I will blah, 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 but make Greece great again. I'm the next Aristotle, blah, blah, blah. But then, of course, it's not going to be this level. And then I'm going to be a little disappointed. But you never know. Maybe it will be something very, very good. But if I don't try, yeah. I think that's the expectation I set with my poor little mind is what holds me back. I think I should just start without any expectations, a blank piece of paper, and that's it.
But we can't be perfect in our first try.
Of course. And even if I'm never perfect, at least I will know that I did it. It was as good as my honest effort took me to, and that's it. But if I don't put my honest effort in there, I think I'm going to miss out.
What comes after success?
Who knows? I've never succeeded at.
No, my question is, okay, we want to be great at the first try, right? We want to be perfect. What comes after perfection?
Yeah, I don't know. So it's better if you do the journey in the end and have success at a far distance, because you're gonna learn a lot and go through a lot of things, than, I don't know, it's only, I guess we'll find out what comes after success.
Just one piece of advice for your past self.
Plan a little better. That's in contradiction with the previous episode. Yeah. I never planned. So, especially when I was 18, I'm 28 now, I don't know if I said it. Especially when I was 18, I thought everything will come in life just like that. I will open my hands, opportunities will come. So yeah, plan a little better, it would be my advice. Just keep in mind what you want to do and follow. A small plan, not just map everything out, because I'm a bad planner, a very bad planner. That's it.
You can leave a message for the next person.
The blue skies are coming. Keep your head up. Never let anything get you down for real. Keep track of what's important in life. And don't waste yourself on small, unimportant things like stupid job promotions, more money. Keep track of what's really important to make you happy and your loved ones happy. And that's it. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Kostas, for being here. It was very nice to have this conversation with you. Hopefully we can see each other on the next one or another one in the future. And then we're going to see how your books are going. Put some pressure and expectations. But thank you for coming and for you sharing your perspectives on everything. Blue skies are coming. So, yeah, thank you.